So, session 7, here we go. The last time on In the Eyes of the Stars, the group had been on their final push north, dragon in tow. Accompanied by another adventuring group from the village of Hearths called the Light Chasers, they were ambushed by undead frost giants as soon as they crossed straight into the reverberant sheet. The dragon crashing to the ground, they all jumped from Miriam's Afridi bottle and straight into battle, holding off waves of undead giants from trying to kill the first dragon, their natural enemy that they've seen in centuries. And maybe forever, who knows? Despite the dangers and Fegolis desperately trying to stay alive, the group succeeded and made it to En's Rune, a captured giant outpost. The group geared up with the remaining cold weather gear they would need to continue their trek across the reverberant sheet, an icy continent covered in various glaciers, and said goodbye to their new friends, and set off. 3 days of travel towards their destination was marked by blizzards, natural dangers, ice trolls, and a reformed frost salamander who is going to go change his life. But as you all begin to come to consciousness and wrap your stuff up, other than Lydia, who stayed awake through the rest of the evening to make sure the frost salamander really does shape up their act, you are ready for the final push to the end of your star map, where Tobias set out a signal all those weeks ago. The hope of finding the essence crystal for Felgolis, can't even say my own character's name right now. You're hoping to track down Tobias and fulfill his plan to help counter this growing giant threat, and this encourages you. All but Kieran come to consciousness.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
So, Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
You come to. Not in the cold, icy cave. Oh, I have 2 musics going at the same time. Nope, don't want that. Okay, there we go. Not in the cold, icy cave, though you still feel cold as you usually do in your undead state. But you come to in a familiar space, the imagined space between you and your wife. Wrapped up in the furs, you see her on your chest, her long black hair flowing in waves as it often does. Her head tilts up, dark eyes are trained on yours before the vision glitches, as though a gap in movement, and she is out of your arms and standing over the bed. Her hand is reaching out to you with an otherworldly gaze. Smoke pours off of her fingertips, and it's inches from your face. Her hair and robe swirling around her, and her death mask, a vision of the top half of a bird's skull, is over her eyes. Her inky lips downturn in sorrow, before your vision glitches again and gaps, and she's kneeling on the bed next to you, pulling you to sitting with both of her hands on your face. The same smoky darkness surrounds both of you now, a common symbol of her magic, of your bargain, and your contract. And you breathe it in, the smell of decay with a slight floral edge, and the acritic scent of powerful magic. My love, I fear danger approaches, and a hard choice that you will have to make. I urge you, use your head, weigh the cost and reward, and know that I love you no matter what, and will always do anything in my power to protect you. I promise this. You wake up, gasping for air even though you do not breathe, and darkness is pouring off of you as it often does in your dread form, before it melts and settles into the cold of the air of the icy cave. And the rest of you see this dark smoke just pouring off of Kieran for a moment before it begins to dissipate.
Miriam will kind of cock an eyebrow. You doing all right, sweetie?
Kieran's gonna cough a little bit. Yeah, I think. Just be on the lookout in the next bit. My wife gave a word of warning.
I mean, Lydia, you've been up all night. How far away do you think we are from our final destination?
Oh my god, that was real? I thought I was getting high from secondhand fumes from Miriam. I don't know. Well, I can consult the map. DM, how far?
So, consulting the map and Astra's star map, you assume that you're probably about half a day's travel.
About 6 hours, give or take.
I would put it at more about 4. So, because you normally could travel about 12 hours a day, but up here it's a little bit closer to like 8. So, about 4
Gotcha.
hours.
About 4 hours and 12 minutes, give or take.
I also don't know if I have told any of you that I have a wife.
I think you've mentioned it to Miriam, but I don't think you've mentioned it to Lydia, and you definitely have not mentioned it to Sheila.
No. So, I don't even think he fully realizes that that's not something that he normally talks about, and he's just gonna keep moving on with his life unless someone calls him out on it.
Cool.
Alrighty, well, that's good to know. Once we get close, we should, well, even while we're not close, we should very much keep an eye out. I mean, from what you said, that crystal will be attracting all sorts of nasties.
Yeah. Definitely.
Also, how is the missus doing? Give her my love next time you see her.
Yeah. Doing well. From what I understand, very concerned for my well-being, but she often is, so.
I still haven't figured out
Have you consummated your love with a cloud of smoke?
No,
Miriam's grinning in the background.
no, I've been married for... Starts counting on his fingers and goes, I don't know, time's a bit wishy-washy for me. I don't even really fully know how old I am. Somewhere in my 40s, I think? Maybe my 50s? I don't know. We've been married for a while, though. But,
You could say it's otherworldly.
Yeah, that's the best way to explain it.
A goddess of a woman.
Technically?
Enchanting.
Yeah, there we go.
Miriam just has a very coy smile as she says,
Oh, yeah. And, Kieran definitely has, like, a little bit of, like, an actual, like, shy blush on his face, which is very strange for Kieran. Anyway, not to talk about my love life, but, maybe we should keep heading on if we are close.
Good plan.
Alrighty, so you gather your things, wake up a very hungover Felgolas, and get them all bundled up. Astra bundles into his cloak with him, and he looks a little sleepy, but excited to set out and kind of be on this last little push. And you all step out into the day. The cold air greets you and a clear sky above you. Many of you are, your eyes and your vision are overwhelmed by a white, fresh blanket of snow that covers the ground that erases any tracks of your salamander friend from the previous evening. But you continue to push north on the reverberant sheet, following the path of the star map. It grows colder and colder up here. Clouds roll in after the first hour, but snow does not threaten you. But the darkening sky provides a foreboding air. When you presume that you're roughly several miles off after traveling for about 3.5-ish hours, the biting cold turns numbing as you begin to realize that you're going to be fighting off frostbite for any bare skin here. The natural shivering of your body saps your strength, and for the sake of this, anyone without cold resistance or cold immunity has disadvantage on any strength or dexterity checks in this environment. So this does not include attack rolls, but any, like, checks.
And how many hours have we traveled?
About 3.5 at this point.
Alright. Miriam will just kind of, once we get to this point, well, all you know, if you are willing and if you are all okay with us potentially bringing a good amount of potential attention our way, I could figure out a way to make this a little bit easier. It would do some very high-level magic, though.
The idea.
Well, you know, my boss does have his good old pet that I might be able to see if he'd be willing to lend me.
Let's maybe keep that as a backup.
Alrighty. Just give the word and Caldera shall be here, at least I hope so.
I love Caldera. Alright, so you continue north? Yes?
Yep.
Alright, so even with the cold, you do still see signs of life around you. You see bear tracks that trapeze south over the last couple of hours. You see hooves of large cloven creatures in a pack. And the more perceptive of you even spot several Arctic foxes flitting around. Which, I would say for Lydia, because you've done some extensive reading of this area, and you have a pretty high nature check, if I do recall, this feels a little weird. Like, it's odd that animals would be this far north even in this cold. So, like, some of them do have the means, but this feels colder than usual. And, like, there's a lot more than what you would expect. So, just, like, a little different. However, while the entirety of the reverberant sheet is Glacier in origin, what sits before you as you kind of crest over a hill and grow closer is a rather odd sight. A large cliffside, a separate glacier that seems to be slowly merging with the reverberant sheet from the top, as though it appeared one day. A large crack runs down the front, the only way beckoning you in. Astra, who has been wrapped up in Felgolis's coat and furs, opens her eyes, and a flash of illusionary stars appear above you, and the noble dragon, the last dragon in the series of constellations that you've been following, extends towards the sky and actually settles into a place right above the entrance, before kind of blinking and dispersing as though it is not starry out. The way is clear. Is there anything you wish to do as you approach?
I just want to double check something. Do we have disadvantage on strength and dex skill checks or saving throws?
Skill checks, not saving throws.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kieran, I trust your judgment. Like I said, just give me the word and Caldera shall be here.
I just don't want to
How
make...
about we head inside and see if it's warmer?
Yeah, I'm just worried about making too much scene.
That is my
Can we
special.
check to see? Sorry, go on.
No, you're good. That was all I was saying.
And we check to see if there's any tracks that lead inside a glacier.
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival check. It did snow last evening, but you have seen several tracks throughout, as though people have been making it recently. But survival.
Spam. That is a... Oops, I've got disadvantage. Let's try it again.
Oh yeah, you are
Is it
exhausted.
16?
So with the 16, looking around, you do see some tracks, but they're pretty muddled to the point that you can't tell what they are. So it looks like there's been something that's maybe gone in or out within, but not within the last 3 or so hours.
Is it big? Is it small?
A little bit on the bigger side.
So Lydia is a small creature, so a little bit bigger is medium size?
No. It's definitely bigger than medium. You're just not quite sure in D&D terms if it's large or huge, if that helps.
Is it wearing size 13 sneakers or size 33 sneakers?
It's hard to tell between the two right now with the perception or survival check and the way the snow is kind of like fallen and blown and covered tracks up.
Would I be able to identify the type of sneakers? Is it a Nike or an Adidas?
If you want to make a investigation or nature check, I will allow it.
Okie dokie. That's a 28.
But you have disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Oh, right. Let's try this again. Investigation. That's 24.
Okay, so looking a little bit closer and kind of like now that you identified that there are tracks and where they are, you kind of sit down and like take a moment to measure things out and compare them to what you've seen. And you don't have a full track anywhere. A lot of them have been blown over, and some of them have been like trampled over by like a herd of what you assume to be very, very large moose. But you do manage to kind of piece together a part of one track, and it looks to be giant-sized.
Is it just one track? One set of track, or is it multiple?
That's all you can really get out because you rolled pretty low in your survival for something that's been snow blown over. So you can't tell if there's more, but you can tell what it is.
Alright, crew, we might have to face more giants inside the glacier.
Perhaps.
Is there anything we can do against them? Are they weak against anything?
That's a good question. What we've gotten them a handful of times at this point, and Sheila's from around here. Would we know at this point what weaknesses or if they have any vulnerabilities?
So yeah, and also Lydia did read a book on giants. So Lydia, you'd piece together that one of the very few giants who would probably be this far north would either be frost giants or storm giants, but more than likely frost giants. You also would know that there isn't necessarily anything that they're weak to, that they pack a punch, and that they do very well in cold weather.
Do I know if they work in groups or are they solitary?
Most giants kind of work in groups. So most giants, unless they're like lone, work under some sort of like Thane or Jarl, depending on the group, and usually with their other type. So there's, you did read about a pecking order in the giant types, and so hill giants being at the bottom and cloud giants being all the way at the top. Maybe not cloud giants. I'm trying to remember. I'm having a brain fart. Hold on. So it really like, let me just double check so I'm not lying to you. I'm pretty sure that cloud giants are at the top.
How could you, Zari?
I know, right? Oh, jeez.
Not have an encyclopedic knowledge of this. Come on, man.
Well, I've read so much about giants.
I
actually think storm giants are at the top. Yeah, storm giants are at the top. I couldn't remember, it was between those two. So you're not 100% positive what you deal with here. They usually hunt in packs, and as you kind of noticed with the hill giants, it's a lot more, a lot of follow the leader type vibes.
Okay, I'll relay this information to my crew. Inside the glacier, is it dark or is it,
You guys are about 1,000 feet off, I'd say, at this point, so you can't tell.
Gotcha.
Is the glacier, fully covered, or is the crack, going all the way up?
The crack goes all the way up as though it's split.
Okay.
They haven't been taking good care of their glacier. Got it.
Well, maybe they've got a storm giant with them, and it cast lightning bolt on it, and that's why it's lit.
My logic is impeccable.
Absolutely impeccable. All right.
Well, regardless, we know where we have to go. Let's get on with it.
Miriam,
Yes.
friend, how much fighting power do they have?
So if we're talking like, if we're making a comparison, I'd say like they're about me beefy plus a half. They can take a punch. I mean, they're pretty big, pretty fiery.
Like, I'm gonna look at Miriam, like, matches you fiery?
Better.
Oh! How quick does it take you to summon them?
Well, if I'm using the magic that I'm gonna use, it should just be a second.
Okay. Then let's maybe keep that in the back pocket for... I'm assuming that means, like, it takes, like, a round to summon them, or does it take a minute?
Wish is an action.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so what would happen would be she would be able to cast this spell as an action,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool, because normally it takes 10 minutes.
Yep. Alright, then I think you should hold off. So that we don't have... I don't know how long you're allowed to have them around for, but I don't want to be like, alright, and then we have 2 more minutes with them. So...
Selma, it's the same spell as Kiki.
I'm sick, okay?
No, you're fine. You would know this spell, so I just wanted to make sure you
Kieran doesn't know
knew.
this spell.
I feel like Kieran would. Maybe.
Would Kieran? Would he though?
Never mind, it's a cleric spell. For some reason,
It's a cleric
Yeah.
spell.
Never mind.
Lila wasn't even technically supposed to get it. She just got lucky.
She did. Alrighty. Okay. So anything else as before you guys continue your approach?
I will stretches to get my limbs as quote-unquote limber as they can be in this cold.
Old lady stretches.
Yeah,
Felgolis 110% joins you in that. He's like doing stretches with you and like watching you. And then he like realizes that just you two are doing it and everybody else is kind of looking at you. Especially Lydia probably is looking at you a little funny, and then it's like, oh, this is a little awkward about it.
It's alright, Felgus. I'm 680. It comes, my joints tend to freeze up in this type of temperature.
Alright, that makes sense. Wait, when we get in there, do you want me to turn into a dragon if we run into any fighting things?
I suppose so. If that won't zap you of too much, we want you to be in good condition once we get to that crystal, and I'm sure there'll be lots of nasties.
Oh, totally. And I can help you guys.
Alrighty, fantastic. Do we have enough, those, well, what do you call them?
Girl?
Keep you going?
I don't know, do you?
We should have about 5 left.
Alright. Is that
I'm
enough?
more concerned that if you do turn into a dragon, all the giants are gonna rush you and kill you on the spot.
We'll see.
You saw how the undead giants reacted?
Yeah, but like I'm not much use like this, to be completely honest with you.
Nonsense.
Enough.
You very well.
I mean, I'm lucky.
May be able to help.
I'm lucky.
Sometimes it's what we need.
Okay. Anything else before you guys head in?
Let's do this.
Okay, let's do this. So, sorry. Okay, so the part the part in the glacier leads to a rough-hewn giants as you approach. Leads to rough-hewn giant-sized steps as you peer into this very large crack. Nothing assaults you, but you see that they proceed downward inside the split of the cliff. Haze begins to pour out of this crack, a mixture of fog and snow, and it seems to limit your vision. Are you proceeding?
Yes. I'm sorry. I think my husband just started playing the do 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 music, and I was very confused.
Just casually listening to the Wii. Isn't that the Wii soundtrack for the Me creation?
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I straight up thought that was coming from Roll20, and I was like, what? What meme shit is happening here?
You know me, I wouldn't meme you like that.
Anyway.
As we are walking, though, I'll just... Sheila, I don't mean to be rude, but... And she kind of lowers her voice. We do have to admit that Kieran gets hit a lot. Would you mind if I took my necklace from you?
Oh my god, I didn't even remember I had this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you the necklace.
I will, just as we're walking, Miriam just, casually slips it over Kieran's head.
Are you trying to be sneaky?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's like when you're coming up behind you and fixing your shirt.
Yeah.
So, Kieran, you definitely know what this is.
Oh, absolutely. I'll just silently pat your shoulder.
Don't die, alright? I've seen that one times too many.
Fair enough.
Alright, so, as you enter into this large rift in the glacier, you see that it proceeds downwards in these gigantic, well, not gigantic, but giant-sized steps that are probably about 4 feet roughly in between. The haze beginning to limit your vision. It's a little disorienting, and it grows colder still, the icy air burning your nostrils, and the echoes of your footsteps are muffled by this haze. Occasionally you hear loud cracks of ice moving and shifting, startling you a bit as it echoes drastically throughout the rift. It continues downward still, taking some time for you to scramble down the 4-foot drops before you see a split in the path around a large slab of ice that extends to all the way to the top of the glacier. Are you going right or left?
Before we do that, I'd like to cast light, the cantrip, and see if the walls and ceiling and floor reflect the light.
So as you cast light, have you driven in fog before with your brights on and it reflects back at you in the the fog? That's kind of what it looks like.
Authorities determined that the accident was not my fault.
Okay.
Sheila, are you able to do that, looking around eye thing?
Yeah, almost always.
Would you be willing to?
Sure. I don't mind.
Okay, so, I have dropped a map for you.
We are.
You are at
I
the
know,
top.
I was looking for it. I'm
Gosh.
gonna be honest, I was totally just about to flip a coin and be like, yeah, that's where we're going, guys. I make great life choices. Always.
I'll cast my floating eye.
Okay, sounds good. And it can go 1,000 feet, is it?
3,000.
Oh, man. We'll see how far that gets you here. Okay. So, I'm going to just let you know that it is hard to see in here. You can only see about 30 feet in front of you, and that's going to include your eye, too, because it's so hazy. So, just keep that in mind as we go. So, please let me know also, like, whether you're going up or down vertically, as well as, like, on the x-axis and the y-axis, as we continue. So, right or left?
Well, do we know how high this entry area is?
So where you are is, I would say, probably about 700 feet from the top. So you entered at, like, floor level, and then you're proceeding downward, and you've probably gone down about 100 or so feet, and it's about 700 feet from where you are to the top.
Okay. Alright. Well, I'll just start going down into that way.
Okay. You personally or your eye? Oh, yep. There.
My eye.
Okay. Okay. So, we are entering an exploration stage here. So, I'm going to reveal a little bit more than 30 feet to you just because this thing is a bitch, but...
It'll keep going, though.
Yeah. So you get to about here, and it seems to drop off over the edge here about, and disappears into the haze. Okay.
To the eyes left, it's a haze. It drops off, I mean?
Yes, correct.
Okay, the eye will go that way then.
Okay. You seem to enter a cavern, and you see several stalactites and stalagmites above you. Wait. Yeah, above and below you in this area, and it's, like, deathly quiet.
Okay. And if anything can see invisible for any reason, it would see
Yep.
the eye. Okay. Alright. Keep it going.
Okay. It seems to lead to kind of a split here.
Alright, so go up.
And so this cavern kind of just twists around, goes right and left, and you're kind of like coming through the haze into a little bit of this opening here. You see several very large stalagmites, right, Cece? Oh, she's muted. The bottom ones.
Mites are on the ground.
Mites are on the ground.
on the ground.
Yep. Tights are
because they
top.
hold.
Tights
Yeah,
hold
they-
tight to the ceiling, mighty from the bottom.
Okay.
Yep.
We always learned the M was like the shape of them on the ground.
Oh, that's smart. Okay, anyway. Science lesson over for the DM. It's funny because I actually Googled this while I was prepping because I didn't want to fuck it up and I still, like, got nervous. Okay. Where are you going?
I'll go right for the eye.
Okay. So it seems to be kind of a dead end here, and you're not seeing anything in this area. You do actually make a perception check for the eye in this area.
It's a 4.
Okay, yeah, you don't see anything in this area.
Okay, the eye will go the other way.
Okay. Is there a way to hold that so you don't have to, like, keep doing it?
No, I don't think so, because I have to click off to control the eye.
Oh, that sucks.
But I'm at like 250.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Sounds good. Alright, where are you going next?
Does it seem like a dead end over there also?
Nope, it seems like it continues.
Oh, down there it does.
So, and as you enter into this room is littered with stalactites coming from the top. Oh my god! Lydia! That's hilarious. So as this is happening, Sheila, your hair is getting brushed. Which I think is hilarious. So this room is like littered with the stalagmites on the ground and has huge stalactites at the top. And using your intelligence, you would know that this room would be very scary to walk in.
Okay.
Like potential of like causing
Or
any
falling
noise.
stalactites.
Yep.
Or okay, sure. It looks like it. Okay, it's dead end over there. Keep it afloat.
Okay. And at this point, you kind of enter back out into the large glacial rift. And you do see some steps kind of continuing down below. And the path does continue over here.
It'll float to those stairs, sure. I love stairs.
Okay, these are still the same, like, giant-sized stairs. And they're very, like, roughly carved.
Cool. Cool, I'm floating.
Okay, we'll just get you all the way down the stairs. And you can kind of see over the edge a little bit, and it seems to be, like, a very large, like... It seems to go down and down and down into the haze, and then as you get closer to the bottom, you begin to see a little bit of a floor. And about here, you realize that you hit the bottom, and you've probably descended about 200-ish feet. So you surmise that unless there was some stairs that you missed in between kind of that, those sections there, that, like, little go-around area, you probably would drop about 200 feet from where you first entered.
Okay. And I'll go this way then.
Okay. And just so you know, it does continue for the sake of the map, these maps continue. So if you think you're getting to the edge of the map, chances are you might just be going on to a different map. So feel free to explore as you would, and I'll let you know if you run into anything.
This place may be a little vast for this to be of any real use. But I will keep going.
Alrighty.
So this area just seems to be, as you're kind of going, a pretty large open plain. You see, actually make a perception check for me.
A1.
Okay, cool. It seems to be a very large open plain, and it's super hazy.
Alright, I feel like this is useless for me, so I'm gonna go back and go the other way.
Go which way?
Was there nothing to the other way?
So you kind of
sure
are
is.
running into a ledge here. You saw that the path continued along the stairs, like where you were going, and you ran into a ledge there, but it does seem to continue down south. And so actually, we're going to be dropping over to a different map right now. So.
Hold on.
To what?
Okay. Alright, I got it.
Okay. Cool. Let me clear the area. You're going to be popping in kind of the top center as soon as I open it. Right about there.
Okay, and I'm at like 650 feet.
Okay. Oh, there's a random clear spot and nobody can see what's happening. Oh no! I scrolled up!
Maybe don't.
I know, right? And not gonna lie, the cracking ice that just happened in the music scared the crap out of me.
Why are you playing music that scares you?
Because it's cool!
Valid.
Okay, so, and as you're walking, you do see kind of like a ledge to your right that seems to go up and disappears into the mist. So you're not sure, and kind of looking up and above you and what you knew, it opens, And you think that it's going to continue and that there might be some, like, caves and other things up to your right a little bit.
Okay, I do love caves, so I'll go up.
Okay, you can float up. So from this point, mark that you're going to float about, hold on, let me check. I need to go to my DM map that has things about 200 feet up. So add about 200 feet to where you were.
Alright.
Okay. So, it seems that this is indeed a bit of a ledge as you kind of look around, and that there's an opening pretty close to you.
Okay, I'll keep it going.
Okay. And as you enter this one, you begin to see, like, bones kind of frozen into the ice. It seems that this may have been a place where people have taken, well, people or animals or creatures have taken their hunt and let it kind of freeze in here.
Alright, I'll just keep on going.
All right. And then there's a verge in the path here.
I'll check it out.
Right or left?
Whatever, that way, off the path.
Okay, and you begin to see a little bit of a glow ahead of you. It seems that... Oh, that was almost too big. It seems that there is a bit of a fire ahead of you.
Oh my gosh, I think I found something. This is so miserable.
Okay.
Can you stop talking? I'm trying to put some blush on.
Oh, please don't.
Okay.
Hear her?
I don't know.
All it says I see out of the eye, so I don't know.
I guess not. Okay, so as you look here, you see a frost giant that you would recognize probably right away. It looks like he's kind of sitting and... It looks like... God damn it. It looks like he is sitting and, like, sharpening his axe, and you see two white wolves, like, sleeping next to his feet.
Spooky. Okay, I'll float on by.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to see you. There's a passageway north, one directly south, and then the one that you're in right now.
Yeah, just go the one I'm in.
Okie doke.
This place is too big, this is a waste of time.
It is pretty big. Okay, so you come back out to another ledge that seems to appear, like, peer back over that valley.
I'll go back and go south.
Okay. Are you gonna turn right or left here?
I'm just gonna assume that that other path connected to that and go this way.
Okay, sounds good. Shorty has gotten through 2 maps and is popping onto my 3rd. Okay, so you're gonna be kind of in the top, and I will leave these areas cleared, but we may have some intelligence checks just to see, like, if you can base things. But you're gonna be popping into kind of the top middle left area.
Got it. I'm at like 1,500 feet.
Okay.
I'll begin my excursion.
Alright, so this area seems to be a little bit deeper into the glacier, and actually as you kind of enter into this part, it begins to have a ceiling over the top. And it begins to be a little bit more of a cave in the glacier and less of like an open area. Especially, which is odd in the center. And then this is kind of where it opens back up, and you see what looks to be, as you kind of come around this corner here, what looks to be carved ice walls. And you actually see this.
Whoa. Whoa, I did it. Is there a way over that gate door?
It's tight, but you're pretty small, so you could probably make it.
I am just an eyeball.
Yep.
Okay. If I can squeeze, I can go, so.
Yeah, I'll say you can do it.
Alright, I squeeze.
Cool. So that seems to be a large gate. You see the 2 turnpikes right here that would probably open and release it. It looks like there's probably about a 2 to 3 foot gap at the top between that and the ceiling. And that's kind of where the ceiling, we'll call it, starts in that area. So you get the sense that if a medium creature was flying over, that could work, but otherwise, yeah. But it did seem that there was some kind of like entrances over here that would also work if someone could get up the probably about 50 feet to here. Just to kind of give you a little bit of a basis as to what's happening.
Okay.
And then you do see those 4 giants there. And then as you go forward, it seems to be several spikes kind of sit up from the ground in a portcullis. Is that how you say it? I always read it and never...
Portcullis.
Yep, thank you. But it's a giant-sized one, but even then it has pretty tight spaces, and so it looks like it would be very difficult for a human to squeeze through. Maybe a goblin could.
I got a job for you, Lydia. Alright, I'll keep going.
Okay, and you see 3 entrances there. North, kind of like a southwest, and then the
I go to the big one.
Okay, you see kind of this opening cave, some stairs going north, and then it continuing.
Oh my god, someone remind me what I'm looking for. I've lost track. I'll go up the stairs.
Okay, you go up the stairs, and you see another kind of turnpike here.
I'll keep going up. See if I can figure out what that's for.
Sorry, solution to us cheesing. More map!
Okay, so actually, I found this map, and it's a redone of an old map, and I'm very stoked about it. It's really cool.
Very cool.
It's really cool. Okay, so are you gonna go continue kind of the north way? And it does seem to like open up and drop about 50 or so feet, and it seems a little bit less hazy in here, so your visibility's a bit better.
I'll go that way.
Okay, you found the other portcullis. And then I'll say for the sake of things, this whole room kind of opens up for you, and it seems to be a treasure room. So it seems that there's a lot of, like, various treasures and chests in here, and, like, huge pelts of creatures. So whoever's in charge here, you get the sense that it's their kind of, like, secret stash.
Alright, seeing as my spell is about to be done anyways, I would like to know what's in the room, so I'll just spend the rest of my time looking at stuff in there.
Okay, make an investigation check at disadvantage because you're an eyeball and can't shuffle through things.
It's a 15.
Okay, so with a 15, you see several closed chests that look like they might hold something. You see gold kind of frozen into the ground as well as some jewels. It's a lot more of what you would assume a giant would find interesting, so various like chalices and flasks and tons of weapons that are beautifully and intricately carved that are definitely giant-sized, as well as armors. As well as the like pelts and furs like I described.
Alrighty. That's all I got.
Okay. And that is as far as you got, and we will pop our way back over. So, successful scouting mission as the rest of you sit and kind of shiver. Is there any conversation that you guys wish to have while Sheila does her thing and Lydia is there, like, grooming her?
I mean, Kieran's currently having a small moment of like, what difficult choices do I have to make? Use my head? Do I not use my head? Do I usually use my heart? I know she knows me better than I know myself, but why she has to be cryptic sometimes, okay?
While he's having the down, I'm braiding his hair.
Oh yeah. He doesn't even fucking notice, I'm gonna be honest.
I imagine that Felgulus is sitting right next to you and trying to learn how to braid. And so both of you have like a little bit of
Going to go to
Kieran's.
battle looking fabulous.
Both of you are like have like a section of Kieran's like short hair and are like shoulder, or isn't it like chin length?
It's like Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet, like.
Okay. So
That's like the one thing my art that I totally didn't steal.
okay. Got it. So you're like both trying to braid it, and oh my gosh, I used to work for a theater company, and I worked with the little kids during the summer, and I'd come back home with like little tiny like really shitty braids in my hair, and that's what Kieran looks like after this. Like Miriam's braids are great, but Felgulus's are not super great.
I'm still complimenting him and giving him gentle pointers.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, and Sheila, you blink, or is there any other conversation you guys wish to have? Because this took about, like, 10 minutes?
An hour.
An hour? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Kieran would be thinking about this for like an hour.
Yep. It sounds about right that Lydia would take an hour to, like, spruce Sheila up.
She was very particular about that Dutch braid, alright?
Yep. Beautiful Dutch braid. And then it's, like, wrapped around the top of her head in this, like, half-up bun.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. So, Sheila, you come back and kind of feel shit on your face. I don't know how much makeup you wear, but you feel it.
I wipe it off. Disgusting.
Seeing that, I will cast command on her to stop her from trying to wipe it off.
Okay. Roll is it wisdom saving throw?
I don't think I ever
It
made
is.
I would just never make it.
There you go.
Okay.
I command you to not wipe it off.
Yep, I will wait the allotted
Very
one
good
round and
try.
then wipe it off.
Is command only around?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lydia just gets her 6 seconds of like,
Yeah,
happy.
she had an whole hour.
Well, it takes time for the completed product.
Exactly. We know somebody's never put makeup on.
Alrighty. So, what's the plan, guys? Where are you going?
Are you doing, Sheila?
Sheila, do we want to follow the way that you went down, or do we want to check a little bit of the other way first? Just to make sure that there's not anything that'll be coming around behind us.
Well, there definitely could be. There's a lot of places in here.
Or instead of going down, we could lead everyone here. We could have Felgulustus roar, and all the dragons should instinctively try to kill him and rush us.
Oh, perfect. I like that plan.
I feel like that's not a great plan.
It might be a good plan. We are in a chokehold situation, so they would only be able to come in one at a time.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Plus, they're coming upstairs, so they wouldn't be able to do range attack on us either.
a couple of fireballs positioned right at the meeting point.
I'm also worried that that might completely disrupt where we need to go. I'm not sure if it would be a great thing if the glacier collapsed right at the entrance.
We could lure them all into the mist room, and then they can't even see us while we kill them.
Now, that could be a good idea.
I do like this idea.
Alright, well then, yeah, let's make it to the mist room and then work from there, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, where is this magical mist room?
Just down the stairs. You'll see it pretty soon.
Which stairs?
The ones on the right. Not exactly sure where the ones on the left go.
I will just, like, really quickly just, like, poke my head. Zari.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
I'll be
I
right
will be sneaky about it.
Okay, go ahead and roll me stealth check.
That would be at disadvantage, correct?
Yes, because it is a dexterity check.
17.
Okay.
Damn.
Good
it
to know.
feels good. It feels real good to roll a fucking 2. Have a 17, alright?
Right? Doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I cleared a little bit too far, so you better move forward at least a tiny bit more.
Alright.
But it does seem to continue from what your vision down to kind of like a part, and then as Sheila saw earlier, it drops off into the mist. But you do see a little bit of an opening kind of over here.
Okay. Should I go in further?
You don't have to now. I just need you to go that far.
Okay.
For the sake of
Oh.
me clearing things.
There's the mist crevice. It's like 200 feet down. I wouldn't fall.
Oh, goodness, yeah. Oh, maybe if we let something here, I could push him in.
Yeah? That is true.
Would hurt real bad.
It would hurt real bad.
Also, I want to note that Sheila's not sneaking and just like walks right up next to you while you're stealthing.
Yeah, I'm just being like really quiet. There's no ice cracking and she's over here just like...
Yep. 110%.
Alright, I'm assuming this because I understand this as a player, but this is just leading to the opposite sides of... Yeah, this is just leading to opposite sides. Alright, cool.
Yeah, I would
Mary-
say that Sheila is smart enough to kind of draw that conclusion that she just saw kind of one side of the glacier, and that there's a whole separate side that kind of goes across that rift there, that plane of mist.
Alright. Well, at least we solved that mystery, question mark?
Mystery.
No, I'm gonna leave. Alright, good night.
Hey, I
folks.
never make puns, okay? Let me have the one. Okay, carry on.
For one campaign, we don't play with Nick, and we still can't escape the puns.
It was one pun in Nick's honor. You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome, Nick. We love you.
Okay.
Whoa, what's this wee stuff?
If it's in Nick's honor, does he have to pay?
No.
No, I'll pay Nick. How about? So Bio's
Yay!
oak 5 gold.
Oh, he's demanding the jar.
I will pay Nick in his honor. Okay.
Hey, he doesn't get to he doesn't have to pay in my campaign.
Alrighty. What are we doing? Where are you guys going?
Do we want to head back out the other way?
I mean, I suppose so. Are we, Sheila, you said that there was a whole, little rickety room with a lot of sharp icicles up top. Are you comfortable with going through there?
It just truly seems like there's no reason to go through there.
That's very fair. Or if we wanted to, I could, fly on through there, hover through, and then trigger all those things to fall before you guys go in.
Or, better idea, we also lead some giants in there and make it fall on them.
That could be very good.
This is true.
Alrighty, well, let's see what's down this way a little bit more then,
I'm going.
Okay. Are the rest of you stealthing? I'll carry Kieran's and Miriam's stealth checks, but are the rest of you?
Err.
Oh.
I'm too cold, I've solely given up on it.
You know, that's valid. That is absolutely
That's a
valid.
27.
Damn, Candle. Nice double 19.
Yeah? I'm not fooling around, man.
Okay, and Felgolis got an 18.
For him.
Okay. So for the sake of this, if something hears Sheila, they'll probably see Sheila first. Especially since Kieran's very, run and put your back to the wall like you just did.
Yep. He doesn't know what Mission Impossible music is, but
But
if he
Mission
did-
Impossible music is definitely playing.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so it seems to grow to a little bit of a point, and that this whole area is carved out much like the caverns on the other side.
What's down over in, like, this area?
It seems to continue and drop off.
Okay. Alright. Where does it drop off?
The, like, dark part, right there.
Okay, cool. I'm a map completionist.
You're not gonna complete this map, but I will send it to you after you're done with it.
Yeah! I have no... Right, this is what's gonna take the extra session. It's just me running around, zooming. So I'm like, finish the map. I will
Finish
know
the
everything
map.
about this place.
Oh my gosh, I'm that way in video games too. Okay, right, left, straight.
I've made the decision, I guess.
And I'm following after him like a mother hen.
Okay.
Hey, I don't get injured that much.
So, as you kind of enter this area, it seems that there is, like, frozen meats, there's furs, there's a whole bunch of trappings, and, Kieran, what's your passive perception?
Hey, hi.
Okay, you hear snoring.
17.
You hear very large snoring, kind of behind you, back towards where Miriam is.
Miriam, be very quiet.
Miriam will just kind of, she's slightly nodding. You see her, Miriam, like, will kind of turn around. She points at you, Sheila, and does, like, a stop hand. And then does, like, she puts her hands up, like, big, and then does a little, like, little, she doesn't make that sound, but she does, like, the two hands and the little prayer clasp laying down.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. No note.
No notes.
Do you want to go down there, Miriam?
Miriam looks, you see her just think for a moment, and then she'll nod, but I'm gonna activate my elemental gift, so I'm floating, like, 10 feet above the ground.
Okay.
Smart.
How long does that last?
If there's only one and they're asleep, we could use them. I could mind control them and get them to bring their buddies here.
You could also mind control them and ask them to step into the mist. So we just don't have to deal with them.
Well, the mind control is very specific. I can't only give them a single phrase for them to follow.
I could also
Walk into the mist.
There's a dragon in the mist.
Dragon in the mist! Kill it!
I could take control for an hour.
You guys want me to go fly in the mist?
No, do not go fly into the mist.
But we do have a flying cat. We could just throw the cat in there.
No!
Do not!
We have a
Why
flying
do I
cat?
get-
Oh yeah, the trestle.
As you guys are kind of having this conversation, you hear one of the snores, like, a... What? What? In giant,
Oh,
and
they're
then
friendly.
kind of falls
Oh,
back
they're not
asleep.
friendly.
I am also a really good liar. If we need to deal with this.
I can take full control of this creature for an hour. Do you guys want me to do that?
If you want. I think it'd be really fun if they all stood in the icicle room.
Okay. Miriam is going to, she's going to float a little closer.
Okay. Cool. You see 2 sleeping giants in this room.
Miriam's gonna hold hand and do the 2 fingers up.
Make a perception check as well.
Alrighty. I'm going. No, I'll chill with that for now. For nowsies.
Okay. One of them looks like this one up here looks like, you see like singe marks kind of underneath. He's sleeping in his armor, but he has like half of his top armor pulled off. And you see like singe marks all up his arm and then some bandages. So it looks like he got into a tussle and got burned.
Alrighty, let me read the range of this real quick. Okay, cool. Yeah, they're within range. Okay. Miriam's just gonna, you just hear her mouth, this could end very, well, not hear her, but you see her mouth, this could end very badly. Be aware.
What are you doing?
Lydia,
Miriam?
hold on one second. Lydia, make a perception check.
Spam.
At disadvantage.
Daddy-o.
Because you are exhausted.
18.
Okay, so with an 18, you also hear, kind of as it, like, comes from the north, you hear in Giant, mind you, this whole conversation, you hear "Aw, man, you're cheating!" And then kind of like a noise, like something got tossed. And it kind of gets swallowed a little bit into the mist, and you get the sense that a lot of this glacier kind of is absorbing sound as well as echoing sound weirdly, so, like, sound doesn't carry as well in here, as well as with the mist kind of dampening it. And then you also hear, like, it's a good thing the yetis are keeping guard. And that's kind of like a glimpse of what you hear, and then it, like, breaks off for a moment as it dips down, and then, like, the conversation kind of picks back up a minute, and you hear, you just hear, like, "Frozen for all eternity." And that's all you hear. And that seems to be coming from up north.
Okay. I will tell the guys that I'm going to mind control whoever's up north and get everyone, and ask them to get everyone they can to the stalactite and stalagmite room.
Miriam, she's gonna take the time. She's gonna float back over, and then she's gonna whisper to the group, "Alrighty, there are two. Do we want to actually use, if Felgus is okay with this, do we want to actually use Felgus to draw them out, either near the stalactite room or near the big old pit, so that they have something genuine to say that, oh my gosh, there's a dragon inside?"
I feel that's kind of redundant. If we mind control someone to gather everyone else, they're just going to go to the stalagmite room regardless if Felgus is there or not.
Maybe, yeah, and maybe instead of Felgus, I can use minor illusion. I can make a dragon roar. I don't know if it would be heard everywhere, but it can be pretty loud.
Alrighty, before we do that, if we want, we should find somewhere to hide. So that we
right
can
at
get
the entrance, I agree.
Sheila just takes off.
I'll go make sure Sheila's right. Come on, Fegalis.
Alrighty, let's see. At what point can I, like, see this dude? Can I see him from, like, right over here?
If you're just looking to see this one, I would say yes. If you want to see both of them, you'd need to be, like, right here.
Okay, cool beans, because I'm not too worried about the end guy. Because,
We're probably going to want to stick ourselves, like, up here so that they don't just, like, walk up the stairs and walk down and see us and be like, "Hey, wait a second."
Yeah, I'll wave Miriam to get out of the way because she is going to get seen.
Or smelled.
Miriam will do the kind of, like, I can duck back over there kind of motion and point to this storeroom.
Okay. Lydia's going to creep forward with her 27 stealth and see if she can spot those giants.
Okay. You see it kind of opens up into a room, and you see a little bit of a flickering light up ahead. And then, actually, as you walk right where you were, will you make me a dexterity saving throw?
Yes, sir, ma'am. Dex save with disadvantage.
Yo. Oh, no, not saving throws. You're not, you're with exhaustion. You don't need to make with disadvantage. But a 6. So you're walking, and your foot catches a very slick patch of ice. It looks like this whole area has been, in your brief glance, melted and refrozen, and very, very, slippery. And so you actually slip and fall directly on your ass. You don't take any damage, but you are prone and you've made noise. And you hear, as you kind of see, looking up, catching the light, you hear two giants go, "Wait, what was that?" And it does break your stealth, and they turn and look at you.
Miriam's going to panic and cast Dominate Monster on Yeti.
I will wave Miriam away.
Wave. Okay. If I see that wave, I will not do that, and I'm going to very quickly fly into hide behind some meat.
Okay. So with that, for the sake of this, since you took like a second to wave Miriam as you're prone, we're gonna roll advantage to see, or not advantage, initiative to see what happens here in terms of them charging a prone you, and if you can get something off here. So, go ahead and roll me some initiative.
Yes, sir, ma'am. That is a 6. Doing great, guys.
You're doing great. You're getting all the bad rolls out now.
And if
Exactly.
if you would like to, Miriam, you can roll initiative as well since you're right there. Oh, wait.
Yep. I'm in the meat.
Okay. So with this one looks at you and you're not fully studying them, so he just looks at you and immediately takes out his axe and charges you, and you are prone and kind of hangs out here and is going to straight up just attack you. So that is a 15 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay, so you roll out of the way as his axe goes clanging down next to you, and then a 27 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay, you take 20 points of slashing damage as it clangs down next to you, right next to your head. You roll out of the way, and he just turns the flat of his blade and goes swiping right across and catches your shoulder. And this one can't really get to you, nor can he throw anything at you, so he's gonna kind of yell out and just say, "Hey, should I go warn everyone? What do we want to do?" Okay. And that's the end of their turn. Miriam, are you doing anything or are you holding?
Let me see. I've got some stuff I can do. What can I do here? Okay, how much do I got? I am going to hold monster on whatever giant I see first.
Okay. Just clarifying, if nothing shows up this round, that means that you're going to be losing that spell. Are you sure you want to do that?
I suppose not. I will just hold a shit ton of Eldritch Blasts, because if I hit, the effect will be relatively the same.
Damn it. The stupid conversation that's happening, and I love it. Okay.
It's not stupid, it's roleplay!
I love the text roleplay that's happening. Alright. Sounds like a plan, Miriam. Okay, Lydia, you are prone underneath this giant's axe, and you feel your blood kind of seeping into this slick patch of ice.
Lydia is going to stand up with all of her regal presence and wipe the snow off of her and say, "I am the herald of the mighty Felgulis. He will lay waste to all of you. He awaits you in the in your own cavern to the northeast, and I will cast suggestion on the one right in front of me and say, you should gather as many giants as you can if you wish to face him. More than 4 for sure.
Okay. Will you display suggestion for me?
Yes, ma'am. Oops, not it. Let's try again. That's not it. Why are you not working? Play. There we go.
Okay. Is this the one that they have advantage if they are fighting you?
I think so.
Don't think so. I think that's one of the other ones. Alrighty, so it is a wisdom save. Okay, I rolled really well. That was a 21. So he...
Okay. Earl, make it roll with disadvantage.
You could, if you wanted to use your reaction to do that.
Sorry, what?
If you have an essence pearl that you currently have, right?
Yeah.
If you use a charge, you can make it roll with disadvantage.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yep.
And I shall
Yeah.
do so.
Okay, that does use your reaction, though, just warning you.
It's just fine.
Okay, so that is a 12. As you see the magic coming over its eyes, and not taking hold, flickering, and that effect that you get where he's pulling his axe back, and you just instinctually reach into kind of your bag at the side of your hip, and feel a piece of the pearl break off in your hand, and a flash goes over the area as you see the spell actually take hold. And he looks at you.
Okay, I will...
Will you... Yeah, he looks at you and goes... In giant, mind you. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. And then you hear the guy behind him, just kind of look at him in confusion and go, Gara, what the heck are you talking about? What do you mean that makes sense? And he, like, turns his back on you for a moment and goes... the lady said that there's a Felgolist thing, I don't know what that is, but we need to go get all of the giants. And he, like, begins to start walking away.
Alright, Lydia is just gonna go with the rest of the movement right here to get out of the way.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. It is their turn. I'm gonna roll... You know what? It's more fun to have you roll. Will you roll a luck check for me?
Sure
rather
thing.
than me rolling...
That's a D100?
Yep, a D100. So rather than me rolling like a persuasion check against the giants. Oh, okay. Bad luck. This guy's like, the heck? And does what he does best and begins charging you. So, and manages to get right here, and will attack you.
Oh, whoa. He also makes a dex saving throw, or else he slips.
Not necessarily. He is an ice giant, or a frost giant.
Okay.
So, and
so
also...
that means he has to make double check because his feet is frosted over and he's on ice?
That's not how that works.
Is that how it works?
No. Also, his feet are huge compared to yours. Like, you're the size of his foot. So I think he can step over sections that you can't.
Okay. That's fine.
So, but that's a 21 to hit?
It hits.
Okay, for 24 slashing damage. And
24, you said.
Yep, 24. And you'll probably need to make a concentration check.
Do I? No, I think it's concentration.
Suggestion?
Let me double check. Yeah. Suggestion.
Yep, concentration up to 8 hours.
Okay, cool. So concentration check. So that's what? Very,
Constitution
wisdom saving throw?
Constitution.
Ooh. Okay. 18.
Okay, you are fine. And then he is going to hit you again. Okay, that's a 16 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay, so as you kind of duck back into the corner there, the second time the axe misses you entirely and like gets stuck in the ice for a moment. He's kind of like putting his foot up right next to you, these giants wear like loincloths, but they don't wear necessarily coverings underneath, and so it's like a really gross smell and a little bit of a gross view as he's pulling his axe out as you're under his legs. And you kind of hear the other giant lumbering behind you. God damn it, Cece. Alright, and then Miriam, in this room over here, you hear these giants beginning to stir. Okay, that's the end of his turn. What are you doing, Miriam? And I would say at this point, the rest of you do hear some commotion.
Cool.
Looks like the plan is flawlessly going off.
No. Do we want to go check on things?
What? That shows a great distrust in our allies' capabilities. That seems a little disrespectful.
I'm gonna side-eye Sheila.
Okay.
After you.
Okay, Miriam, what are you doing? Cece, you're muted if you're talking.
Oh, I didn't realize, motherfucker. Okay.
I was like, why isn't she saying anything, just measuring? Like, that doesn't seem like her. And then I was like, oh, she's muted.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. Okay. So Miriam is going to, let's see, do I have to see? No, I don't have to see. Okay. Miriam is doing, like, she closes her eyes really tightly and she's bringing to mind, like, where she passed beforehand and trying to remember where those giants were. And she is going to hold an action that if she hears anything, like, start coming through here, she's going to drop a fireball centered on this point.
Okay. Sounds good. So you are holding that action there.
Yep.
Bonus action or anything?
Bonus action, piss my pants.
Oh, valid bonus action. It kind of freezes as soon as it leaves your body into your pants. That's gross. Okay.
I press it.
Pee your pants be a free action, though?
You know, it could be. It could be. Alrighty. Lydia, what are you doing?
Give me a second. Thinking. Oh, perfect. Alright, so I will cast command on this fucker.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Give me a
Command
second.
is
I'll
also-
just do one round.
As well as...
It's not concentration.
Okay. But it is
no,
one round.
That's not going to work. Okay, we'll do a power move. I'm going to cast Channel Divinity on him to read thoughts.
Okay. Display that for me. Do I need to make a saving throw or anything?
A 19 wisdom saving throw.
That's a 15.
Alright, cool. So I can read its surface thoughts. What are his surface thoughts?
His surface thoughts are like confusion as to why his companion like thought that, oh yeah, I should follow this intruder's, you know, thoughts, as well as like anger at the fucking wizard who came weeks ago and they're still recovering, as well as a little bit of like this small creature, little folk is very slippery, as well as where the hell is my backup type thing. But also like I can take this chick.
Alright, now that I have read its thoughts, I can cast Suggestion as an act on it without expending a spell slot.
Okay. That still is a concentration spell, or does it say something different?
It doesn't say anything, but since it's not using a spell slot, I don't think I need to concentrate on it.
Well, I mean, like, if you use a magic item that doesn't use a spell slot, that still is a concentration spell, you still have to concentrate on it. So, can you just display it for me? Like, if you cast web from a wand, it's gonna do that.
Is there... Do I have anything? Oh.
Yeah, it doesn't say it's concentration.
Well, the suggestion spell is concentration. It just says without expending a spell slot. Whenever you cast a spell, regardless of whether you use a spell slot or not, you do still have to follow the rules of the spell. So.
Okay.
Because it also doesn't say, like, without using material components either.
That's fair.
Where it does specify.
That's fair. Give me a second. What is suggestion? What does it say? You can blah blah blah. If any of your companions dispel ends, blah blah. Suggested. Oh. Okay, it doesn't say anything about if the creature is no longer suggested that they know they've been suggested, that they've been target of a spell.
Not necessarily, no. So we'll see what this giant over here does.
Alright, so I'm just going
him.
to... Yeah, I'm going to drop it on him too, and this other dude will no longer have a suggestion, but, I mean, he already thought the thoughts, so we'll see what happens.
Yep.
I will cast a suggestion on him, and say, a dragon is attacking you. Why are you spending your time on me? Gather everyone, all the giants that you can, and bring them to this room here to face him.
Okay. So since he failed his saving throw, he, very confused, will yell out, "Hey, you guys over there, wake up, I gotta go." And then he begins to take off this way. On his turn. So if there's anything else you would like to do on your turn.
Yeah, I will turn my nose to the giant, even though the giant is like 20 times as tall as me, and make him believe that he is beneath my notice.
Okay. Cool. I'll allow an intimidation or like some other, if you want to argue, a different charisma-based check for that, just for funsies.
We'll do intimidation, see what happens.
Okay, cool. You still are exhausted, so that is a disadvantage.
It's fine, it's a 21.
Okay.
Natural 21.
Cool. Sounds good. So he kind of is a little taken aback, you see, and it looks like he's like nodding like, yes ma'am, will do. Okay. So, I'll say for the sake of this, you get the sense that if you withdraw from him, he probably won't swing at you. You think.
Oh, no, I'll stay exactly where I am, so I'm not in line of sight of anyone else.
Okay, cool. On his turn, he begins to take off. After yelling that out to the other guys. And Miriam, you hear some echoey conversation in the wall to your, like, east, but you're not quite sure what it is. And then it does seem that these guys are getting up from prone and beginning to gather weapons, and they're looking around confused. So these two are up.
They haven't stepped here yet.
Yeah, so they're beginning to move, and I'll say it was their action to kind of equip their gear, but then they do step here.
Fireball, motherfucker! Dex throw at 19.
Okay, so one of them rolled a natural 20, but it brings them down to 19, which just makes it. Which is funny.
Gorgeous. The only way they could ever save.
Yep. So, but the other one failed. So, alrighty. So that is 43 damage.
I'm sorry, I had it. It's quote unquote dragon.
Maybe it is the dragon.
Dragon it is.
Yeah. So the fireball goes off and the whole area blows up in this fog and smoke. And like if this area was hazy before, now it is like impossible to see, as though someone cast fog cloud, as the smoke and kind of like melting water, and it's like almost scalding to you, Lydia, as it kind of misses your face a little bit. And you hear them shouting and cursing, and one of them, let's see, this is funny. Yeah, with a 4 intelligence check goes, "There's a motherfucking dragon here? What?" And is like just kind of panicking and giant. And yeah. So they may have moved further, you're not quite sure at the moment.
Cool beans.
So, because this whole area is kind of heavily obscured. And actually, for the sake of this, we're just gonna do this. Because I think it's funny. Okay. Is that the end of your turn? Or that's their turn. So now it's your turn, Miriam. What are you doing?
Alright, let's see. Okay, I don't have to see where this happens. So I am going to... Miriam's just like vaguely thinking, okay, 30 feet away. I'm going to just, in the mist, use minor illusion to make make a dragon, like, growling kind of sound.
Okay.
With minor illusion, like, kind of in the same area that they are, since it's obscured.
Beautiful. You definitely hear reaction, and they're like, Where'd you hear that? Where'd you hear that? In the mist. Oh, wait, do you speak giant? You do, right?
No, I don't, so I just hear confused.
Yep, pretty much, but Lydia does hear that.
And since I can use my illusionist bracers to cast it again as a bonus action, I will just do, like, making the sound of flapping of wings.
Okay, love that, love that. I would say that Kieran and Sheila, you guys hear that too. You see just like smoke begin to pour out and like a fog cloud begin to pour out of the area over here from what you can barely see at the edge of your vision, and smell fire and like steam, as well as you hear that sound too.
That's my action.
So Kieran and Sheila, I'll give you a second to kind of like if you wanted to do something in response to that.
Do we want to head down there?
I'll follow you down if you want. Sounds like they got it though.
You know, I will head down. Just
alright, here I go.
Do you want us to roll?
Yes, I do want you to roll.
Okay, can we move it all?
I will give you, yeah, like, I'll give you your movement to start moving.
Okay.
Damn.
I got good rolls, man.
Okay, so go ahead and, yeah, you can move a little bit further, Kieran, if you want to.
Alright. Do we see just a little bit of mist billowing?
Oh, absolutely you do.
That looks like a Miriam special.
Alrighty. Sheila, are you doing anything, or are you gonna just, like, continue to meander there?
Nope, it's so far away there's no reason to do anything.
Okay. So you're just kind of staying behind.
Oh, wait, it's like my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll go. I'll move. I'll dash. Whoosh.
Sounds good. Bonus action or anything?
Eh.
Okay. Lydia. There is
right.
smoke filling your area and dragon noises.
So this is completely obscured by the steam, correct?
Absolutely.
Alright, Lydia's going to take her chances and run into it, and then run in the meat refrigerator area. And
Okay.
doesn't see Miriam at all, so she's gonna like bump into her, and they both fall into the meat here.
Okay. Also, for the sake of it,
With
just
Lydia on top, obviously.
roll like a dexterity saving throw. Let's do just to see if you run into one of the giants.
Sure. Is that with disadvantage as well?
No, because it's a saving throw.
Okie dokie. That's a 20.
Okay. So, you, like, hear the sound of a giant stepping and just quickly dart around where that noise is, and you feel like you evaded something there, and then you are so excited about it that you crash into Miriam, and both of you go sprawling into the meat right there.
Fantastic.
That's your movement.
I will use my bonus action to hide.
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Yes, ma'am. That is a 17.
Okay, so Miriam, you watch as Lydia dives into the frozen meat carcasses and hides.
Miriam will just give her like a very wide-eyed thumbs up.
Okay. Kieran, what are you doing?
Alright, I'm back. Alive. Alright, how far can I get with my action, bonus action? I mean, if I use all my movement, I can shove myself into the mist, but I'm not sure if that's very helpful.
It's up to you. What are you doing?
You know, I will stick myself. But Kieran would just rush in. I know he would.
You can also teleport if you want.
This is true.
Yeah,
you know,
could.
I can just teleport, right? I can just teleport to Miriam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do that. Is that an action?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, with an action, I'll call to Sheila and I'll say, teleporting to Miriam, and I'll just whoop, and I'm just gonna be immersed in the meat, like,
And you hear Felgolis behind you go, wait, what do I? And then you're like, foomp, and you're gone.
yeah.
And actually, you teleport to Miriam, and you, like, almost step on Lydia's face as she's hiding in the meat.
Oh, sorry.
And you just, like, instinctually get quiet as you hear shit happening in the hallway.
What's going on? What did you do?
They think it's a dragon. We need to keep that up. They're going to go get the others because they think it's a dragon.
Oh,
All part of the
so
plan. Just don't do anything stupid.
should I tell Sheila to leave?
Listen, it would be really good if we could kill them and they think it was Felkless.
Do we have anything that looks like dragon things to kill with?
I have fire.
Okay, it's been 6 seconds.
Dragon.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's about it. That's all about you get. Okay. This one is gonna chase the dragon sound, which he heard.
Can I at least, like, stealth?
Can you at least... Oh, yeah. You could definitely... Go ahead and roll me a hide, because you can hide as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Oh! Karen just... You, like, fade into the shadow almost, and smoke kind of begins to pour off a little bit, kind of blending you into the haze.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I feel as a chef and as a butcher, she would be really good at hiding in meat.
Oh, yeah.
Or he, I'm sorry.
Let's
Yeah,
do
no worries.
this. Okay. So this one's gonna run out of here, and is kind of a one-track mind chasing the noise. And didn't hear really what the other guy said, and is gonna take off this way, and Sheila, he does not see you. He seems to be very, dumb. So, and this one also runs out and goes, "Where are you going?" and begins to chase this one too. So, and that's their turn. Felgolis will move forward and kind of just whisper to you and go, "What are we doing?" So that's the end of his turn. Okay. Miriam.
Alrighty. Miriam is going to begin stumbling through the mist. And let's see. Yeah. Oh wait, I have 35 feet of movement. I can just get out of it. Yeah, boy.
Nice. Here, I'll pop you out.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
You see the two giants taken off that way.
Yeah, is there... Okay, Miriam's gonna, like, look back at Sheila, and, like, she gives her a look like, should I kill them?
Yes, you should kill them, but you probably can't in one try.
I have a question. So with my push, would I be able to angle it to shove this dude into the pit?
Like your Eldritch Blast push?
Yeah.
I'd allow some sort of finessery fuckery. You'd probably have to roll for it.
Okay, cool, yeah. I will shoot off 8 Eldritch Blasts.
At one? Or are you gonna split it between the two?
I'll see how... I will begin hitting... I'll play this by ear.
Okay, sounds good. So, the first two definitely hit, so let's start with that there. So the first one definitely hits.
Okay, so that is 18 damage, 5 of its fire.
Uh-huh.
This 7 damage, I'm gonna push it 20 feet.
Okay, and why don't you roll... This is kind of like a angling thing, so let's do a intelligence check to kind of see if you can, like, you know, pool cue this thing. Oh, nice! Okay. So, yeah, I'll say with that, you kind of, like, straight up shoot it off the ice wall, and it ricochets into this giant 2 times. And the first one does that, and then as he's reeling, like, right here, you hit him with the other one. And you said it did a total of 19 plus 7, so 28. Just for the sake of it. And you hear him, like, watch him miss his footing and hear him reeling, and then he falls into the mist.
Alright, so I've got 5 more of these blasts to do.
And you don't hear anything for a moment. But, okay, what are you doing next?
I am hitting this other one with the other blast. Okay, so did that 13 hit them beforehand?
No, it did not.
So let's see. So that's 18, 16, 28.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. I'm sorry, I lost count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 2 more.
Those do all hit.
2. Alright, so let's see, I hit him with 4 more. Yes? Or 5?
Yes,
1,
you do.
5. Okay, 5 of them. So 5d10 plus 25. So 38 damage, and I'm also going to try and pit him.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me a dexterity check.
Alrighty.
Oh, it was supposed to be intelligence, but I'll keep that really high roll because that's funny. So what this looks like is this was the injured one. And you get the first one, you shoot him kind of in the shoulder to get him off balance, and then you, like, bounce it off the wall, and it smacks into him and gets him off balance even more. And as he's reeling, you hit him with, like, 3 more for good measure, and you see, like, his head shoot off, and the limp, whole dead body of this giant goes tumbling into the pit. So you killed him, but then he fell. For the sake of this, why don't you roll me the fall damage? So that's 20d6.
Holy crap.
Damn.
66.
Okay, let me check something. Whoof. I rolled horribly there. Okay, cool. You then, as soon as you see that one reeling, you hear the splat sound from the other one and a very loud roar that like kind of echoes and ping-pongs off of the valley walls before it gets absorbed by the haze. And you're not sure, but if he's dead, but he's either dead or extremely injured.
Miriam just turns back to Sheila with like another wide-eyed thumbs up.
Man, it must be nice to live like you, Miriam.
Oh, darling, it is.
Okay, and for the sake of this, you guys, Kieran and Lydia, you wait in the there for just like a moment, listening, and you hear the giants on the other side move further down south. So as you concentrate, you get the sense, Lydia, that your control over the previous giant, as well as your continued suggestion over this one, has made it that they have continued on their, yeah, let's go let somebody know that there's, like, people here. So they're definitely...
Oh, no, a dragon.
Yep, a dragon specifically, as well as people. Small folk.
Alright, I will grab, if it's my turn, I will,
Well,
ask...
for the
Oh,
sake
no,
of this,
I'm
we're gonna
sorry.
actually be out of initiative, so...
Okay.
But it can be your
I'm
turn.
gonna grab Kieran by the hand and say, "We gotta go. They'll be back with a bunch of posses."
You're groping for Kieran's hand, but you actually pull out a piece of dried meat. Kieran pops out and goes, "All right, let's go."
Oh, that's funny.
Look, man, he
So
had
is
20.
is the dried meat your hand, or is it just
No.
something else?
No.
He tries her.
I mean, I don't know. Feel his hand compared to a piece of dried meat.
Okay, let's do that. Is it an insight check, or is it a sleight of hand check?
It's a sleight of hand check to, like, grab Kieran's hand quickly. Although he does have gloves on right now, because any exposed,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So, I mean, like, you grab a frozen thing of dried meat, and it's more gross, but you do get, like, a little bit of stringy, like, frozen bits.
Okay.
So, I'll say that if you want to, one of your, like, next rest, see if you can grab Kieran's hand, that'd be funnier. Okay.
Okay. I will get to everyone and say, "Plan successful. Let's get in position."
Yes, we have
There's at least two of them that's gonna come here. I managed them to grab more people, at least more than 4. So
Great.
this is our chance.
All right, where are we hiding? Where are we positioning ourselves?
Do we know which way they're gonna come from?
Well, probably the south side of that room, if I had to guess. Or maybe they'll try and surround it. Who knows?
Perhaps two of us should be on one side of that choke point and two of us on the other?
Sure. Also, I'm assuming our plan is to like try to make the stalactites fall.
That would be a sick way to kill some giants.
Is that what you told them to fire and focus with, Lydia?
Yes.
All right, well then let's get there. Miriam is going to Moose. This is the stalactite room, right?
Yup. So specifically, it was, like, there was some stalactites in here, but not nearly as many, and this room down here was, like, littered with them. Like, it's
Okay.
hard to walk on the ground, and if you walk on the ground, you're definitely gonna knock down ones from the ceiling to come crashing down on top of you.
Alrighty, I'm going to take the moment while we have it, and I'm going to cast Summon Shadow Spawn using the Terror Frenzy.
Okay.
And let me look at this real quick. How is the range here? Yeah. So Lydia, not Lydia. Oh my god. Fuck. Okay, yeah. So she is going to like put it right over there because she's a little bit nervous about that room. Just because. So I am going to. Boom! Shadow spawn right here.
Okay. Do shadow spawns walk or float?
They walk. That's why she put it so far away.
Okay. You summon a shadow spawn there, and as you're kind of like watching, do you tell him to do anything?
I'm just gonna, have it just walk around and start looking. Sniff it around.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Absolutely. 27.
You watch him as he's walking around there. He immediately looks down at the ground, turns and looks back at you, and like if you've ever seen a shadow spawn fearful before, this one looks absolutely terrified. And you watch as below his feet, a gigantic, like, what looks like stalagmite grows out of the ground, and kind of like a burst of energy and a little bit or burst of ice and cold and a little bit of like sparks fly off. And does a 30 hit your shadow spawn?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay, it takes 47 points of piercing damage
Alrighty,
and 9 fire damage.
Okay, so 40 piercing, 9 fire, minus 40, minus 9. Okay, it's barely still up.
Okay, and then I need it to make a grapple check.
Alrighty. So let me just... That would be dexterity, right?
Dexterity, so it's acrobatics or athletics.
15.
Okay, it is still grappled, and it is held in this thing's mouth as it bears down, and you see just like sparks fly off of its head as this creature is staring down at you guys.
Oh my gosh, never mind. Let's avoid that room like the plague.
And for the sake of this, we will be rolling initiative, but we're also going to take a super quick break, and we will come back and see what the result of this is. So, see you guys in about 10 minutes. So at the 20. Alrighty, and we are back, and the group just encountered this creature bursting up from the ground and biting down onto the shadow spawn that Miriam had summoned. Very wisely, it appears. And that was that guy's surprise round right there, and we are immediately jumping into some initiatives to see what these guys are gonna do here before this thing continues to act. So, Felgolis is gonna run down and go, guys, what's happening? Should I turn into should I go fight this thing? Are we fighting this thing?
No, not yet. Nobody move. I can handle this. You just gotta give me a moment, alrighty? I can handle this. I will have this thing under my thumb in just a little bit, alright?
Okay. So
Use
he's gonna stand there and kind of like look on edge, and for the sake of it, we'll take the dodge action. Okay. What is Kieran doing?
I think Kieran has probably seen Miriam pull this shit before, so he is also just gonna hold the dodge action.
Okay. He could bonus action hide too if you want.
You know what? Yeah, he is. He's gonna just very shuffle his feet and hide, just right behind this wall right here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Alright. That is a 30.
Okay. I think we are a golden there. Alright. Sheila, you've been told to hold. What are you doing?
I'll do nothing.
Okay. Okay, Miriam.
I am going to cast Dominate Monster on this. That is a wisdom.
Where's Lydia? Did I skip Lydia? I skipped Lydia. I'm
Yes,
so
you did.
sorry. Lydia, what are you doing?
It's fine.
Are you gonna hold or are you gonna...
I'm just gonna go right here and use a hide action.
Okay. Go ahead and hide for me.
Yes, ma'am. Stealth check. Disadvantage. That is a 14.
Okay. Beautiful. Oh, Kieran's stealth check would have been at disadvantage because it's really freaking cold.
Oh, yeah. Oops,
I forgot.
Oh, that's sleight of hand. So, nobody. You can't. Okay. Yeah, so...
Yep, definitely fine. Okay, wisdom saving throw, that is a 6. So this monster is now dominated and under your control.
I am going to tell it to settle down. Pretty much just, I'm using my, let me see. You can use telepathic link to issue command while you're conscious, which does the best to behave. You can use, so I'm using my action to take total and precise control of the monster while also telepathically linking with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm basically saying, pretty much just, as well as it can understand, we are friends. We will bring you food. Hide and wait for it to come. Attack when I say.
Okay. Sounds
and then
good.
Lydia's gonna turn to dress him. I have it under my control for right now. Please don't attack it. This may turn out bad later, but for right now it is in our favor. I will float on through if you guys will give me the time to. And you guys hide over here, and once those giants are here, let's kick their ass and use this against them.
Okay. Are we sure there's not more of them, of those creatures in there?
There might be, but I will stay floating, so...
Okay,
Yep.
so Miriam floats in.
Yep, I'm going to float in over to here. Staying a good 10 feet off of the ground.
Okay. At the end of your turn, this creature drops his prize and lets it go, and then burrows back into the ground as told. However, the being hitting the ground, as well as other things happening, you see these two emerge as they have moved and are chasing a source of something happening up above. And there are two more that appear. However, it was their turn to get here. Okay.
That may end up being an issue.
Okay. Felgolis goes, now? Should I... Are we going
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay. So he's gonna come over here and go, okay, and is going to promptly turn into a dragon as his action to try to draw some attention and go rushing in. He can't fly very well in here. He can hop up off the ground, and so he's gonna stay grounded, but he's gonna get to here. But that was his action. Okay, Kieran.
Alrighty, let's see.
Oh wait, I forgot to put his radius on.
Oh, worm.
I know. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, since I think he's understanding that the vibrations are what are causing things, he's gonna take a couple of Eldritch Blasts at the one that Miriam isn't controlling. So...
the one that you're controlling burrowed back under the ground, so it's not even visible.
Okay, so he will go after that top one then.
Okay.
All 4 of those. So those are his 4 Eldritch Blasts.
Okay, so a 20, a 23, a 29, and another 23 all do hit.
Alrighty, let me see if there's anything fun he can do with his Eldritch Blasts. Let's see. Apologies. Nope. Alrighty, that is cool. So that is going to be /roll 4d10 plus spells plus 6. Damn! For 53 damage.
Okay. That's force damage, right?
Yes.
Alrighty. So as Kieran kind of gets just like a brief line of sight and shoots off 4 quick Eldritch Blasts, pummeling into this creature, it hisses as the first one catches it, throwing its giant maw up into the air, and takes the other 3 to the neck before it comes back down, and you just see a band of fiery spikes appear over the top of its back as it lets out a horrid screech in anger.
Fun!
What is Kieran doing?
I guess Kieran is going to... yeah, he'll move over to here just to have a better line of sight on everybody for right now, Z's.
Okay. Lydia, you just heard a whole bunch of stuff happen and then watched Felgalus go, okay now, and charge in as a dragon. What are you doing?
Alright, Lydia will come forward over here-ish and cast Sacred Flame on this dude.
Okay, that's a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, ma'am.
That's, a 4.
Okay, so they take 4 d8s of radiant damage, which is 22.
Okay, as your flame kind of just like appears around it, it tries to like move out of the way, but kind of bashes into one of these walls, and you watch like steam begin to hiss off of the ice wall there as it growls at you.
I will reluctantly give Miriam the help action.
Okay. How do you do that? Do you just like point something out to her, give her some instructions there?
Through gritted teeth, I will encourage Miriam to, to attack them between the lower jaw and the uvula of these creatures.
Perfect. Sheila.
I told you to avoid this room. Sheila will cast Hold Monster on this one.
Okay. Oh, Lydia, I'm so sorry. Did you want a bonus action or... Oh, you use your bonus action to use the help action.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So you're good staying there?
Yep. Well, okay. I can. That's the end of my movement.
Okay, cool. So, this is Hold Monster on this one?
Uh-huh.
What is... That's a wisdom?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. That's an 11.
Okay, so it's hell.
Beautiful. Come on. Let me Sorry. Thank you. I'm gonna put a red dot on it. It is held. It's at the end of its turn. Is it like hold person but monster?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Bonus action or anything?
Yeah.
Was that a nah or a yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Miriam, what are you doing? As you watch Sheila's magic kind of tie this one down here.
Alrighty, I'm going to, not using an action, but just issuing a telepathic command. I'm going to tell the one that I'm dominating to stay put. And then I am going to use my action and bonus action to pummel this guy with 8 Eldritch Blasts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so, of those, the 16's a miss, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hit.
Alrighty, so roll 5d10 plus...
Wait, which one are you pummeling? The one that Kieran was, or the held one?
The one that Kieran was.
Okay, cool.
Let's see, okay, cool. So, 5 of this is fire, so 59 damage, and it's pushed 50 feet back, so into this wall back here.
Okay. As these Eldritch Blasts just hit it, you see just, like, sparks and bits of ice flying off of this creature, as well as this, disgusting, like, matter of what this thing is. And, like, one of its fins almost fully flies off, and it slams into this back wall, and it looks very angry and bloodied.
Cool. Let's see. Miriam is currently flying. Are there any, like, ledges on these walls here that I could get a perch on?
No, there are not.
Alrighty, how tall do these creatures look?
These creatures are huge, so they're about 10, 15 feet tall, and the ceilings go up about 30 to 40 feet.
Cool, I'm going up 30 feet.
Okay, sounds good. So hugging kind of close to the ceiling.
Yep, I can hover, so... and then let me read Shadow Spawn, because I might be able to just use my action and get a little bit of use out of this bitch. Other than the use that he already gave, so... verbal commands... Okay, cool, so I don't have to use an action, so it is going to... it's going to use, let me measure some stuff.
Wait, I have a question. Is your summon Shadow Spawn concentration?
Oh, yes, it is. So that would be gone.
Yes,
Never
it
mind.
would. Well, your fly is in concentration, right?
No, that's just a thing I get.
Cool. Just wanted to check.
Yep.
Sorry to burst your bubble there. Okay.
Good, you're good.
It is. Anything else?
Nope, that is it.
It is monster turns. This one is going to come here and
I'm gonna mark that I'm 30 feet up, so blue.
It can't do anything because you pushed it away, so it's gonna just maneuver here. And use the rest of its dash action to burrow below the ground. And this one's held, so it spends its action being held, and then it makes a wisdom saving throw at the end. That's a 13, which I don't think passes.
Nope.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. Felgolus, seeing what just happened, is gonna go bite the paralyzed one, because that seems smart, and is going to unleash on it. So that is... these are all considered crits, right, Shorty?
They have advantage, and yes, if they hit their crits.
Cool.
Yeah, you immediately fail any strength or dexterity saving throws. All attacks roll against you have advantage. Any attacks within 5 feet of you that beat your AC become a critical hit.
Okay, so, he bites down on, and you watch as he, like, latches onto this paralyzed creature's neck, with, like, a really intense hit. 16 times 2, 32... So, as it takes 39 points of piercing damage, that took my brain way too long. And he begins to claw into this creature, holding it in its neck, holding it with his teeth at its neck. And okay, so that's another 21 points of damage as the first claw hits, but the second claw doesn't quite find purchase as you actually watch him begin to burn. You see a little bit of sparks fly off this creature, and Felgolus is taking some fire damage there. And it kind of throws him off his game for his third claw attack. That is the end of his turn.
Alrighty.
So it's Kieran's turn. Lydia's on deck.
Is Kieran able to see this creature all right?
He can see the paralyzed one.
Okay, cool beans. He is going to take some attacks at him then, and since it's paralyzed, half advantage. So 1d20 plus 12. Oop. Well, thank God for that advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first hit, and I am going to crit fish. So let's copy.
You should absolutely crit fish. Oh, wait. You're not in Felgolus's range. Never mind. Oh, it's a good thing you're not in Felgolus's range.
Damn! I do get one crit. Okay, so that's the third hit, and so let me roll for that fourth one. So that's a 31 to hit, so no. That is a 24 to hit, a
Okay.
28 to hit,
I looked at them all. They all hit. So you have your hits and then one crit.
5d10 plus 24. For 55 force damage.
Nice. This thing is starting to not look so good as it is being held by both Sheila's spell and Fegolus's teeth as these blasts of energy just like are ricocheting into its body.
Cool beans!
Okay. Lydia.
Right, Lydia's gonna come forward again and do Sacred Flame again. Oh, deck save.
Then I think it immediately fails because it's paralyzed.
Correct.
Alright, so... Come on. Sacred Flame. 20.
Beautiful. Is
Is
it...
it crit?
I'm sorry, what?
Is it crit?
No.
Okay.
Because that was your damage.
Yeah, it's within 5 feet crit.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, it's only melee within 5 feet that crits.
Gotcha. So, yeah, I will give Felgolus advantage to help action.
Cool.
And retreat. Up over
Sounds
here. And retreat.
Good. Sheila.
There's a monster missing, so Sheila will just stand where she is and wait.
Okay. Are you holding something?
No.
Okay. Okay, Miriam.
You know what time it is.
What time is it?
Last time.
Cool.
Okay, so let's go. 1. This will be 1. So that's 1.
Okay.
That's 2.
Cool.
That's 3.
Cool.
That's 4.
Okay.
That's a 19. I don't know if that does something special.
Yes, a 19 does do something special, so hold for me. Why don't you roll the 4 damage before, though? Before we get into the... Because the first 4 did hit, so before we absolve the 5th, I'd rather know what's happening there.
Yep, alright, so this is plus 5 fire damage, so 57 damage there.
Yeah, okay, so this thing is dead before you even get to the 5th one. But for the sake of funniness, roll me a D100 on that crit, because it's just cool.
91.
Okay. Hold on. Oh, okay. So as you hit with that last spell, you can just tell, you watch some energy, like golden, flow up from Felgulis's body and kind of like send that last Eldritch Blast straight through this thing's maw as it falls down dead.
Cool. So that was only 4, so I have a question. I know it's... Can I hold a bonus action?
You cannot.
Damn.
And you have to use your action first with your bracers.
Yep, so I am just going to chillax 30 feet in the air. And I'm going to continue to just kind of mentally tell the one I have dominated to stay put.
Okay, sounds good. Sheila, roll a d6 for me.
Okay. 1.
Okay, so this one pops up right underneath Kieran and bites onto Kieran.
Okay.
So that is a... oh no, I crit. I'm gonna kill Sly's character and she's not even here. Okay, so that's a 31 to hit.
Yep.
Alrighty, Kieran takes 76 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty, Miriam is going to, let me just make sure that I'm reading this correctly because I have a little thingy I can do. I love doing thingies. D4, that's not it, it's Rebuke of the Talisman. Yeah, so I am going to use my reaction to deal 6 psychic damage to this attacker and push them 10 feet away from Kieran.
Okay.
So I'll do it more towards the pit. So 10 feet towards the pit.
Okay. Cool, so it's gonna land right here. So it's 76 piercing damage and 22 fire damage.
Okay.
And then Kieran needs to roll a dexterity or, so acrobatics or athletics check. And both of these are at disadvantage because of the extreme cold.
Alrighty. He has inspiration, and I'm gonna use it.
Okay, cool.
I don't, yeah, so
So
let me
it's
roll.
just a single roll.
1d20 plus 6. 11.
Okay, he is grappled in this thing's mouth.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Okay. So, for the sake of this, I'm gonna just plop Kieran on here so that I know that he's grappled. Alrighty, that is the end of his turn, and... Oh, shoot. I don't think Felgulis can make it. Can he make it? Oh, he can move 40 feet! Yes! He can actually fly, so he's gonna actually fly, pick up off the ground and fly, and land over here so he's out of the way. And unleash on this creature. Here, so that everybody can kind of see what's going on. We're gonna reveal. Alrighty. That's gonna bug me. There we go. Okay, he's going to unleash. Or...
Oh, yeah, thank God.
Okay, no, he's not gonna do that. Okay, so that one just hits, misses, and hits. Okay, so his bite lands on this creature. So while this creature is biting Kieran, Felgulis is behind it biting him, and then misses with one of his claw attacks, but the second one rakes into its back, and Sheila, you see just like sparks of energy coming off of this thing as it is not looking too good. But Felgulis does seem to take some fire damage, however. It is not as much as the last little bit, because I rolled very poorly, and I'm okay with this. Okay. That is the end of his turn. What is Kieran doing?
Kieran is using an action to teleport to Miriam and using his reaction to cast Featherfall.
Okay. Perfect. So he gets out of the grapple, which is very good, and Feather falls and begins to drift towards the ground, and I'll say that he does land on the ground.
Cool, so I've used a first level spell slot from him.
Okay, just write that down and tell me after.
Okay. And let's see. Yeah, that was his action. Does he have any fun bonus actions? I was just too worried about making sure that man doesn't fucking die. Not really, so he's just gonna stay put for nowsies.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Lydia.
Okay, I'm just gonna cast, I'm gonna cast, Sacred Flame on this dude again. So, the dexterity saving throw?
That's a 5.
Yeah, that's a 20.
Okay. It begins
Me
to
radiant damage.
cough up, like, bits of sparks right at you, Sheila, and you, like, feel some of it kind of singe your hair. It's warm. It feels nice, considering it's so cold out. Lydia, what are you... anything else?
Yeah, I will use my Master of Tactics to help Sheila out to give her advantage on her next attack.
Okay.
And then go up the stairs and end my turn.
Sheila, you have advantage. What are you doing?
Nice. I'll take a great weapon booming blade attack at it.
Cool, cool.
Uh, 25.
25 does hit.
$19. Oh no. Alright, 19 plus 16, 37.
Okay, how do you want to kill this creature?
I'll just I wasn't ready to kill it. I'll just knock it off the edge into the cavern.
Okay, so it's almost like you take a stance, get ready, and you swing and you bat this thing, and you watch its eyes roll back in the back of its head as it just like gets shoved out of Felgolus's maw, and you kind of see it begin to like lose consciousness as it peters over the edge into the bottom. Okay. How long does Dominate Monster last?
An hour.
Okay. So for the sake of this, you think that you have eliminated all threats. And it is quiet.
Too quiet. Alright, let's get a good hiding spot and wait for the giants to appear.
Is there like a stalagmite here that Miriam can like land on top of?
Yes.
Okay, cool. She's going to land on top of there and kind of like take some time to hide herself, and Kieran's going to come over to like over here and hide himself.
Okay.
And also his wounds.
I also think that Kieran has some potions too, just a reminder.
Yeah, let me look if he does, because if he does, glug glug glug. What do the troll hearts do again?
The troll hearts, if you eat them, you regenerate at the top of your turn.
Yeah, Kieran will just kinda... I like to imagine Kieran is probably, like, having a moment of, like, she said, think with your head. Do I think with my heart too much? And then he pulls out the troll heart, and he's having, like, a moment of thought, and he eats the heart.
Okay.
Whoa! At least put it between two slices of bread. Make a sandwich out of it.
You're right. He takes a moment to season and make troll heart of bread and is going to eat a troll heart sandwich.
Somebody please text Sly that. That's so funny. Okay. Hold on. Let me see what this does. Exactly. I didn't have it pulled up. Okay, so you gain 5 hit points at the start of each of your turns if you haven't taken acid or fire damage. So essentially for 24 hours out of combat, if you have enough time, enough turns, you will hit full.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So just, I guess we'll mark how many turns it is until trouble shows up again.
Well, do this for me. How much until Kieran... What's Kieran's max health?
His max health is 156 points, and he's at 58, so roughly 100 points, give or take, until he's full.
Okay, so he just needs 19 rounds, which is 2 minutes. You will definitely have 2 minutes, so we'll just put him back at full.
Queens.
So, and just remember that he regenerates at the start of each of his turns from now on.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright. Felgulis kind of looks at you, Sheila, and you just see, like, burn marks all over his mouth, and he, like, looks wild-eyed and excited. He's like, that was cool.
I'll give him a thumbs up.
And he, like, notices everybody's kind of, like, starting to hide and goes, oh, okay. And, shrinks back to his halfling form. What are we doing?
We're luring the giants into this room to hopefully hit them with icicles and also make them think there's a dragon so we can eliminate them all in one place. And you watch as Miriam's gonna... Once everybody finds a place, I will start making dragon noises in this area.
Where should I hide?
Relatively nearby, just so that you can, beat the shit out of some people should need be.
Okay. He, like, goes over here, and then he goes here, and then he sees all the rest of you over there, and he goes, just kidding, and comes over here. And hides there. Alright, for the sake of those who are hiding, will you go ahead and make stealth checks?
Yes, sir, ma'am.
I think Kieran needs to make his... Damn, 2 19s. Oh wait,
That's
shit.
15.
Okay.
I'm going to use my DM inspiration to go with that 19 instead.
Okay.
And Kieran's also going to have that 19.
Beautiful. Okay. How long are you guys waiting?
For 8 hours. Well, actually, 7 hours and 52 minutes. The end of my suggestion.
Okay.
Yeah. So and probably like 45 minutes, because that's how long we have the remoras, but Miriam's going to just like be continually using like prestidigitation to make it sound like there is just a dragon growling and pacing and kind of like clawing at the walls.
Okay. After about 5-ish minutes, you hear some noise. And you guys over here watch as a group of 3 yetis, all holding weapons, like very, very rough-looking weapons, kind of come over here and peek in. And these 2 stay out here. You're gonna what?
I'm gonna tell the remoras to wait because we're waiting for... I'm gonna tell it to wait because we're waiting for giants.
Okay, so Miriam, are you hiding? Yeah, you are. 19?
Yes.
Okay. Love that you guys are like, psh, fuck the yetis. We're giant hunting. Oh, that's funny. Okay, hold on. Let me check something. Okay, it begins sniffing the air, scenting the battle, obviously, but kind of sniffs around, and he looks confused, Miriam, from what you can see, and then he kind of begins to go back over here, and he looks at his party, and they all shrug, and then they begin to return back to where they came from. So it looks like they did not send to where you guys were. Okay.
Once they are a good bit gone, I'll continue the dragon noises.
Alrighty. So, let's do this. Okay, so after about another 10 minutes, you guys hear as people begin to come around the oh, that's not what I meant to do. People begin to come around the corner over here, giants do. You'll be able to hear it. You hear some snarling, as well as you hear some giants coming around the corner over here. So, they're not very quiet, and you hear one of them hear the noises happening in the cavern over here, and say in giant, like, look, there they're coming, over there! And they begin to all move over here. So if there's anything that you wish to do in this moment as they are charging forward.
Yeah, I will cast guidance on myself and stealth more and run away. Over here.
Kieran will do the same.
Okay.
Action, dash, bonus action, hide.
Okay. Felgulus will follow suit. Sheila?
Oh, yeah, Sheila will go too.
Okay. I'm not going to make you guys reroll. You can carry your stealth there. Let's just double check. Okay, they rolled horribly. So you watch as this group of giants comes down. I'm grouping them so they're not right on your asses, don't worry. Comes down. The wolves don't seem to smell you. And the giants seem to, as you kind of like press yourself against the cave around that ledge over there, seem to ignore you as they begin to come in here.
I'm going to tell the Remoras once they're in there to sick them, bite them, kill them, eat them.
Oh,
okay. Kill the wolves.
Which one do you tell them to kill first?
I'm gonna, do I get a sense that these wolves would be, do I think, like, this thing could, like, reasonably, like, eat this wolf? Like,
totally.
Yeah, because I don't think it could grapple the giants, but,
No.
Yeah, so I'll have it go after one of the wolves.
Okay.
Using all of the shit that it's got.
Let's do that, that's funny. Oh, I crit! Okay, so you watch, Miriam, as the Remoras pokes out of the ground, and this wolf is just, like, swallowed. It's gone. It's just swallowed. And it turns to the rest of them and rattles. And here, let's just do this quickly, because I think this is funny. That was a surprise round, and I'm gonna just, like, roll a brief dex check. Okay! Yeah, so the Remoras gets to go again before they do, and it is going to... Let's just double check this. Oh, yeah, totally. It is, Yep. It also swallows this wolf whole, and then turns to the rest of them. And these guys begin to duke it out, and you watch as some of the stuff, like, above, the stalactites above begin to shake with all the noise. Especially since you guys kind of stayed over here very intelligently, and the stalactites are more over here, and then they're horrible down here in this section. So, is there anything that you're doing as they are very evidently fighting?
I'm gonna fireball them, because once it's, like, got onto them, I can just use, like, a simple command, like, okay, keep fighting, attack them, so I'm gonna fireball.
Okay, if you attack the Remoras, does it... Oh, it's immune to fire damage, never mind.
Yeah, so, yeah, fireball.
Okay,
Fireball.
cool. Dexterity saving throws. Okay, they all fail and take 39 fire damage. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Are you guys around in the hallway doing anything as this is happening?
We're playing Go Fish.
What?
We're playing Go Fish.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, so the group is playing Go Fish in there, and Felgolus looks very anxious, kind of in that section over there. Okay, so they don't seem to notice you and seem to be very zoned in on their quarry, even though the fire came out of there. And as this thing is like, they're attacking this thing, it is letting off fire, so who knows, maybe they're just really dumb and think that the fire's coming off. Okay, so for the sake of this, I'm going to roll some attacks to see if they kill this thing in one round. We're pitting monsters against each other. This is great. Give me a second. I'm doing
a Kaiju fight.
Yep, pretty much. Wow, they hit on every single one of their attacks. Look at these giants go. Oh my gosh. Oh, so Miriam, you see that they do a lot of damage, and they bring this thing pretty close to, like, he's looking horrible. However, the fire that is lashing off of this guy is also doing damage to them. So, hold on. That's 13 fire damage to this one. Sorry, I was not prepared for this, so otherwise I would have had some of these pre-rolled. So, I didn't realize you would, as somebody in chat said, Bad Guys Fight Club. Okay, so that's additional 23 damage to these guys. So it looks like your monster is not doing a ton of damage to them, but there is stuff happening, and you see some stalactites might fall.
All right, let's see. Anything for this? Question: while they are like all absorbed in this, can I use my Eldritch Blast at the ceiling?
Oh, absolutely! You could make stalactites fall. I'll allow you to do that.
Absolutely, I'm gonna do that with some Eldritch Blast, especially since mine look kind of fiery.
Okay, so that's gonna be 8 stalactites that fall. Are you, like, aiming them specifically so that they hit the giants and not your Remores?
Oh, I don't give a shit.
Okay, cool. So, go ahead and, for the sake of this, what's your plus to hit?
Plus 11.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna hit all these stalactites unless you roll natural 1. So, just roll me a general luck check, and if you get above a 20, then you hit all of them. Okay, beautiful. So with the 70, you do hit all of them, and so I'm going to roll a couple dexterity saving throws here, and then I'll tell you what you can roll. So I'm going to do 2 to each. Okay, so that one fails. That one succeeds on one, fails on one. That one fails on both. That one succeeds on one, fails on one. Okay, so for the sake of this, will you roll me? Just roll me 5d8 8 times so that I can keep it in order. Oh my gosh.
2.
Oh, wait, hold on. Are they immune to cold? Yeah, they are immune to cold. Sorry, it's gonna actually be 3d8 because they're all immune to cold damage. So,
okay.
Just keep rolling 3d8 from here on out.
Yep. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. So inside, you guys hear just like a whole bunch of the crashing of ice. As it's at 1 HP. Your poor little Remores. Okay. A bunch of crashing of ice as, like, stuff is falling down in here. These things are wailing away at it. Okay, so that is 26. So the giants are not looking super good, but they're still looking a far cry better than your poor little Remoras, but he does get 1 turn. Or is it Remor Haze? Remor Haze? I don't know how to say this monster's name. Someone correct me. It kills this giant. But then it dies promptly as this giant's axe gets sunk into its back. And these 2 giants begin to look around. And that is the end of their turn. So if there's an action you would like to do.
Miriam is going to... Oh, God. What do I want to do here?
I rolled a perception check with advantage and still didn't beat your stealth.
Oh, okay, this is...
But I will say that after this one, since they don't have an enemy to pay attention to, that you will need to, Can you hide as a bonus action or anything?
Nope.
Okay, well then you're gonna be exposed after this one.
Okay, you know what? If I get the feeling, you know what? I can take a short rest. It'll be fine. Fireball!
Okay. When in doubt, fireball. And the beauty of this is that a haze begins to fill the room and a steam does. Alrighty, let's see if they save. That is a natural 1, which turns into a 0. And then an 11. So they both fail. They take... Yeah. Yep. One of them was at 30 and the other was at 28. You got so lucky as they both kind of die. You hear like a thud and then steam fills the room. And it is heavily obscured and you just listen. And quiet falls over. And you kind of run around the corner and you see all of them are dead.
Cool, yeah. Once I'm sure about that, Miriam will very carefully make her way back there. Alrighty, I need a nap. They're all dead, though.
And I imagine that we come back around the corner and we see Sheila and Lydia playing Go Fish.
Indeed.
Was there any conversation that you two wished to have with anybody while you guys were doing that?
No, I'm pretty sure we're really into the game.
Okay. Okay, well, Miriam comes around the corner and says she needs a nap. I could use a nap. Are we taking naps?
I need a nap. I just killed 4 creatures, technically. 3 giants by myself and a Remoras. I need a nap.
And wolves. There was wolves. I saw wolves.
We can't have a nap here. There might be more. There might be more of them.
Can I eat the wolf bodies?
Oh. We can bury my body in the... not my body. We can bury my bottle in the snow.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Besides, if we're in my bottle, it only takes 10 minutes.
Wait. Did the wolf bodies, are they somewhere? Can I eat them?
Will they help you in any way?
They're yummy and I'm hungry.
I believe they're in the Remora's stomach, so if you're willing to dig.
That sounds like a lot of work. Okay. I'll just eat rations in the human form. It feels weird, but it's okay.
Yeah, but also...
you could have some giant steaks.
That is true.
I don't know if I like giant.
You are a dragon now. I mean, you are supposed to take care of giants.
Yeah, but there's a difference between fighting something and eating it.
How do you know you like wolf?
Because I've eaten wolves.
Okay, so you have to try something to like it. So maybe just give it a try and stop worrying about it.
Okay. He goes in here, and you hear a noise as he expands into dragon form, and he takes a bite of giant, and you hear an ow! Ow, it's cold, it fucked my tongue, and he comes back out with a leg, like, stuck to his tongue in like, dragon form, and it's just, like, hanging onto his tongue, and he's like, get it off!
Miriam will carefully pry it off of his tongue.
Okay. I imagine with, like, your fire powers and some cantrips, it's really easy to do so, to heat it up a bit, to get it off his tongue.
Yeah, I just used prestidigitation to warm it by a good couple degrees a couple times.
They're frozen. Like, right away. That's gross. Nope. And he'll shrink back down to halfling form, and he's like, I'll deal with some jerky.
Alrighty, let's go. Get in the... Miriam is just gonna she walks over to, like, a corner, like, really covers up her bottle for a moment. Alright, everybody, get in the bottle. We're spending 10 minutes. I'm taking a 10-minute power nap.
Okay. Well, you'll actually need an hour to short rest, but...
No, I won't. No, I won't. In addition...
What?
At least 10 minutes gains the benefit of finishing a short rest. And anyone can add your proficiency bonus to the number of hit points they regain if they spend any hit dice as part of a short rest there.
That's cool!
Great.
Alrighty, okay, so go ahead and take a quick short rest if you would so like.
10-minute power nap, baby!
How many HP is he down? He's down... Yeah, we'll do this. What's your proficiency bonus right now?
It is a +6.
It's a plus what?
6.
Okay. So you only get to add that +6 one time.
Yeah, Miriam is conked out in her pillows.
Okay. So as you guys take about 10 minutes to patch up your wounds, you can roll any hit dice you would like, regain any spell slots or items that come back on a short rest. And I know that we were going to go about 15 more minutes, but I think this is a really great place to wrap it up. So you guys have cleared quite a bit of this, surprisingly. Drawn quite a few giants and kind of evaded combat there, and are safely resting in the fruity bottle. And so I think this is where we're going to end tonight's session. So next time we'll be coming back to see as they push towards the center here to see if they can track down Tobias and what happens there. So thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, please leave a like. Let us know what you enjoyed. And if you're on Twitch, we're going to stick around and say goodnight, and we'll raid off. So have a good night, guys.